Do not move to Utah. I'm sharing the top reasons why you will hate living in Utah, and I'm not holding anything back. No doubt, many who've made the move to Utah have been filled with regret. People hate living in Utah for a lot of reasons, which I'm about to share. And this is the most comprehensive list you will find. As a real estate agent here in Utah, I often help those from other states find a home here, and I've personally witnessed their culture shock. I mean, Utah is so unique that it's almost like moving to another country. The purpose of this video is not to scare anyone, but more so to prepare you for the uniqueness of living here in Utah. Now, most people love living in Utah. If this is you, before you get your undies in a bundle, please take into consideration that a lot of people from other states don't hold the same beliefs, or they prefer a culture or a lifestyle that they've grown up with. So before you leave a nasty comment below, please realize that many of the bad things I mentioned in this video might be good things for you. Are you happy? Good. Now, make sure you watch to the end, where I'll make a suggestion to help you better understand the Utah housing market and home prices in the state. Okay, let's get to it. Number one, lack of diversity. It's no secret, there's a lot of Mormons in Utah. The conservative nature of the Mormons, aka the Latter-day Saints, who settled the Salt Lake Valley in 1847, has an obvious impact on much of the laws or the way of life here in Utah. I'll talk more about Mormons at the end of this video, but as far as ethnic diversity goes, Utah is predominantly white. But over the last decade or so, I've seen a pleasant uptick in people from other cultures moving to the state. Unfortunately, racism is found all over the world, and Utah is no exception. But I'm proud to live in a place where for the most part, racism is not tolerated, and that most people are friendly and respectful to one another. As a matter of fact, many Utahns go out of their way to help people from other cultures feel welcome. But if I'm being honest, it's not always the case. Number two, you might not feel welcome. This is a big complaint from those coming from California, really the West or East Coast. Often those who come from these areas have different views and big personalities that rub Utahns the wrong way. A big complaint from Utahns is that people coming from these areas often try to push their agenda. You know, it's a threat to our way of life, and for the most part, we're happy with things just the way they are. Most Utahns will treat you with respect, but sharing your views that don't jive with the majority could seriously hamper your ability to fit in. Maybe you don't care about fitting in, and that's just fine, but it could get lonely. I'll talk more about politics in a bit, but if your views swing far to the left, most Utahns don't want to hear your opinion. I'm just saying. Number three, drinking and smoking is not accepted. Most Utahns do not drink and smoke. Many who live here just don't like it. Will you be judged?
Oh yes, sir. Absolutely, sir.
Utah has some of the strongest liquor laws in the country, and you will see strict no smoking signs posted on businesses, schools, and etc. These signs not only state that you're not allowed to smoke inside the building, but that you also must maintain a certain distance. This includes vaping, by the way. If you like to drink and smoke, take comfort in the fact that there are at least 3 other people in the state that enjoy the same activities. This leads us to number 4, little to no nightlife. Many complain that the lack of nightclubs and bars make Utah a miserable place to live. For those who like to party, Utah's nightlife leaves much to be desired. You might remember the stir that Dennis Rodman caused during the 1997 finals when he flew to Las Vegas for the night, almost missing Game 5, where him and Jordan scored a combined 40 points. MJ had 38 of those, by the way. But certainly things are different now, right? Well, according to Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal, who spent a few days here during the recent NBA All-Star game, not a lot has changed. Shaq preferred to just stay in his hotel room, and Charles Barkley said, ain't nothing to do in this boring A city. You can't smoke, can't drink, these people are going to heaven. Number 5, lack of professional sports. I can't argue this one. I would love to have an NFL team here in Utah, and we're still waiting a Major League Baseball team. Though the state has committed to building a Major League Baseball stadium in hopes of attracting an existing team, or in expectation of getting an expansion team in the near future. For now, if you want to go to a pro football, hockey, or baseball game, you'll need to leave town. Thankfully, Utah does have professional basketball and soccer. Number 6, Utah is gun friendly. Truth is, Utahns love guns. I heard that nearly half of Utahns have their concealed weapons permit. I'm not sure if this is true, but it sounds right. Most people I know own at least one gun, and Utahns love to teach their children how to use firearms. Many who live in Utah like to hunt, and in the fall, it's common to see antlers protruding from the beds of trucks. If you're not comfortable around guns or interacting with armed citizens daily, then you might want to give it some serious thought before committing to move here. That being said, if you have concerns, I recommend researching crime rates and gun-related deaths in Utah. That should give you some comfort. Okay, I'm about halfway through the list. If you're finding this information helpful, please give the video a thumbs up and please hit the subscribe button below. And please feel free to reach out to me with your questions. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Utah, I'd be honored to serve you in any way that I can. Please feel free to call or text. I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, moving on. Number 7, Utah has horrible traffic. Simply put, the traffic in Utah sucks. Due to harsh winters and the explosive population growth, Utah roads are always under construction. Even without construction, the drive into and out of Salt Lake City can be slow and frustrating. But it's not just the drive into Salt Lake City. Roadways are often backed up for any journey, especially in the morning or evening commute. The Beehive State can't build roads fast enough for 3 reasons. First, Utahns live longer than average. Second, we usually have the highest birth rate in the country. And third, since 2010, Utah has the highest move-in rate in the nation. As a state, we're bursting at the seams. Only adding to the pain, number 8, Utah drivers are the worst. Utah is notorious for bad drivers, which means we are constantly dealing with car accidents. You'll need to plan for the unexpected, leaving 15 to 20 minutes early for work, appointments, or wherever to make sure you're not late. And of course, bad weather makes things even worse. Plan on being patient and annoyed with the shenanigans on the Utah roadways. And don't be surprised to get the one-finger salute if you accidentally cut someone off. Exaggeration? I think not. Number 9, the air quality in Utah is terrible. You'd think that because Utah has so much open space, that the air here would be better than most places. Unfortunately, the opposite is true. Utah has the 5th worst air quality in the nation. This is mostly due to this thing called inversion, where poisonous air gets trapped between the mountains, filling the valley with smog. The pollution in Utah is particularly dangerous during the winter, especially for those who have respiratory problems. That being said, there are locations not far from Salt Lake City where the air is much better. Number 10, the weather in Utah sucks. Utah is considered a high desert, so it's frigid in the winter and smoking hot in the summer, reaching temperatures in the 100s. The weather in Utah can change on a dime, making it hard to enjoy the outdoors sometimes. During the spring and fall, you never know what you're gonna get. You need to be prepared for sudden changes in the weather, especially if you have little ones. And during these seasons, it's risky to plan outdoor activities because the weather can be so unpredictable. Number 11, outdoor activities can be limiting. The mountains provide loads of incredible activities when it's not cold, like hiking, biking, camping, boating, and more. But if you don't enjoy winter activities like skiing, snowboarding, snowmobiling, and etc., or you can't afford them, you might feel trapped the other 6 months out of the year. People often go stir crazy, feeling trapped inside their tiny apartments or homes, especially with kids. Speaking of the little ones, number 12, there are just too many dang kids in Utah. Utah is famous for its large families, so pretty much wherever you go, there'll be kids running around, usually laughing and screaming. A nice walk in the park or a trip to the mountains can be disappointing, especially if you're hoping for some peace and serenity. Kids cause a spike in volume at gatherings, restaurants, movie theaters, and, well, pretty much anywhere you go in Utah. Even for someone like me who loves kids, it can be frustrating. Number 13, declining affordability. Since 2011, home prices in Utah are way up, even with home prices crashing in 2022, down nearly $100,000 statewide since the peak of the market. But in 2023, Utah home prices are up again. Over the last decade or so, Utah has gone from a very affordable place to live to a barely affordable place today. Home prices are increasing, and affordability will continue to be a problem for several reasons. First, Utah is suffering from a housing shortage. Home builders have been underproducing since the market crash of 2008. Second, Utah has the #1 economy in the nation. This is creating a lot of jobs and attracting people from all over the world. Not to mention, no one is leaving. Third, the average salary in the state isn't increasing fast enough to match the higher home prices, especially with higher mortgage rates. To stay up to date on the Utah housing market, make sure you subscribe to my channel where I do regular market updates. Number 14, politics. In case you didn't know, Utah is very conservative. If you don't share the same political views, you may feel marginalized or uncomfortable living here. Utahns don't like people who come from other states, as political views are often radically different. You'll likely hear complaints that there isn't a separation between church and state. Because the predominant religion in Utah is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, aka Mormon, many of the laws are super conservative. This leads me to number 15, everyone in Utah is Mormon. This statement is 100% false. Well, more accurately, it's about 50% false, as approximately half of those who live here are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Obviously, the percentage of members will fluctuate from one location to another, and if you move to certain cities, you might feel like everyone is Mormon. That being said, most people that I know who find themselves surrounded by members of the LDS faith find their neighbors to be pleasant. But some who do not share the same religion or culture often feel out of place or uncomfortable living in Utah. If this is something you're concerned about, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I love living in Utah, but clearly it's not perfect. I often feel frustrated, but there are so many incredible things about living in Utah that I wouldn't choose to live anywhere else. Well, maybe Hawaii. Anyway, if you'd like to learn more, check out my video, What It's Like Living in Utah. And if you'd like to gain a better understanding of home prices in Utah, you'll want to watch the most in-depth Utah housing market video. Look for the link below. If you're looking to buy, sell, build a home, or invest in Utah real estate, I get contacted all the time. Please feel free to call or text me with your questions. I'd love to meet you, and I'm honored to serve you. For everyone else, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. I always do my best to respond to each one of you. If you have a friend or a family member looking to make the move to Utah, you can easily text this video to them. And please, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and ring the bell to be notified each time I post new videos. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Ty, the Real Estate Guy. If you found this information helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to ring that little bell below. It'll make you feel good.